what you call a chat show. We call it a talk show in what you call the colonies, I think. I honestly have no idea what's going on over there. I do know what's going on over here, though. And I can tell you that from a fascism perspective, this has been a really great year. Tyranny is booming over here. You may have read in your colorful newspapers, my country's president would like to shut me up because I don't adore him in the way he likes to be adored. The American government made a threat against me and the company I work for, and all of a sudden we're off the air.
Tonight's Red Hot video, another leftist looking for sympathy overseas as the unfunny late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel records a message for the UK, you know, a nation with a long history of tyrannical rule, to tell the Brits that tyranny is booming here in the United States. Joe, there's a little bit of irony here because, of course, we remember the situation with Jimmy Kimmel where he was crying censorship, and now he's going to the UK to cry about censorship in the United States, a country that has their own censorship issues.
Yeah, Democrats have never met a bit of logic that they like, right? I mean, they're just, those two things don't go hand in hand. And hasn't he already been outed as a liar? You know, he got fired originally for lying. That was the big issue. And then they brought him back because his supporters came out in droves and they started talking about censorship and all that. But the fact that Jimmy Kimmel would talk about tyranny under this president just shows how far he is off from the founding father ideals that make this country great.
And Matt, on that point, I thought we won a war so we didn't have to worry about the UK anymore. What are we doing going on their talk shows and sucking up to them for many ways?
Yeah, and I thought we were ignoring Jimmy Kimmel. You know? I mean, I didn't realize he was so relevant that a foreign country is bringing him on for a post-address after the king spoke, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know. Whenever I see that stuff, whenever I see anything relating to Jimmy Kimmel, I can't stomach it. He's so irrelevant, and he speaks to people outside of, I think, the bubble that majority of us operate in. And I wouldn't say bubble, but right outside of the mainstream that we all live in.
Well, just because nobody talks about him anymore, we're going to give him a little bit more attention because in typical liberal, hypocritical fashion, Kimmel telling the Brits that he doesn't have an issue with all kings.
Just for the record, we have nothing against your king. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but his son lives here. We just, well, some of us just have a problem with the guy who thinks he is our king. Here in the United States, right now, we are both figuratively and literally tearing down the structures of our democracy, from the free press to science to medicine to judicial independence to the actual White House itself. We are a right mess. And we know this is also affecting you. And I just wanted to say, sorry.
So, Tim, does that amount to treason, or is that enough right there? So, I mean, you heard the arguments that he makes. How do you reason with someone like that?
It's the greatest hypocrisy. During the Biden administration, we saw real censorship. The government working with private NGOs and foundations to censor Americans who didn't agree with the left-wing narrative. And now apparently, Alex, the left's best diplomat is Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
We've got Marco Rubio. I think we win that exchange on the diplomatic side. I think we do.
You know, going even deeper than that, Gabriella, one thing that Democrats and liberals had for a long time is they were viewed as being cool. You know, there was the 70s, they were the hippies or whatever. I don't know, I wasn't there, but that's what I was told. But the problem with them right now is that everything just seems to be a little cringe.
It doesn't. I don't think the Brits want to hear from Jimmy Kimmel either. I understand, yes, we have some disagreements with King Charles, but his Christmas homily and his mother, the late Elizabeth II, delivered beautiful Christmas messages. And I think more people were interested more so in hearing from him than they were Jimmy Kimmel. But the UK has its own dalliances with tyrannical moves. I was there for the first time. Lovely country, lovely people. We should still have a special relationship with them, but they're taxing energy to death. They're even trying to ban angling and imposing an inheritance tax. So he's lecturing to a country that is fatigued very much with the Labour government.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Jimmy Kimmel is enthralled about the idea that President Trump became the first world leader to be invited twice for a state visit to the UK just earlier this year.
Yes, so tyrannical, they invited him twice.
Yeah, a real monster, fascist, according to him.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.